After 40 years in the Navy, I'm obviously used to service, and it's in my blood, it's in my wife's blood, and so this was one way that I could continue to do some service that might impact other people in a positive way. We're limited by the resources we have and receive, but I think we're continuing to move ahead in trying to work as hard as we can to get people jobs, and that has to be our focus, and it is in what we've done to date, and I think it will continue to be. I would hope we would have broadened our approach, maybe get into a couple of different sectors, increase our resources, and have a few more programs. And that's where I see us going. I think we have to do that. That has to be part of our goal, has to be part of our strategic plan.
One, that Hitachi is very much committed to impact and scale. And so this is not a series of pilots. And for me, much of my work, particularly when you're in the finance sector, is really around systemic change and sustainability. So that resonated strongly. I think the second piece is that they are committed to helping the most marginalized. And as someone who comes from that community and rose through that community and still has a strong attachment, there's certainly a personal connection by which I can see where Hitachi's value is in a variety of communities, but specifically those that are less fortunate. And I would say the third thing is that as someone who has spent time in the corporate sector, there has typically been this kind of adversarial relationship between the social sector and the private sector. And so I think the Hitachi Foundation is an opportunity to really marry what can be the best of company support in community and in partnership. As someone who's coming from, again, finance, private sector background, now deeply embedded in the nonprofit sector, I think there's a real opportunity for me to bring kind of the various experiences around creating and financing systemic change, and the ability to figure out how to scale that systemic change. So I sit on lots of boards. I think there's a couple of things that were exciting about Hitachi. One is that it's going to sound weird, but it's true mainstream. I think that there are those nonprofit boards that really focus on just serving a very specific community, and they do a lot of social service work, much needed and greatly honored. And then there's the corporate boards, which are very much around profit, and if I can do good, that's great. And here's an opportunity really to marry the two. And so it was important to me because it resonates with my values, my professional experience, and my personal passion. So that was really important to me to be at Hitachi. And obviously it's a huge honor to be part of a company that also has international experience, and an international presence and a very strong footprint outside the United States. I think oftentimes there's a myopia within the U.S. that what we do here is the best, and then the opportunity to leverage that international exchange and give something to Japan and bring something over, I think, is a wonderful opportunity.